What's up, guys? Ricky here with another review of the new expansion, Heroscape expansion, Rising Tide. So I pre-ordered this a little ways ago, and they released. So Renegade Studios released this expansion and then another one at the same time. So what you had to do, which hopefully you did it, is you had to order this all in one order and then order the next one the next. Otherwise, they're going to wait and deliver everything when everything is available. So I decided to do the smart thing and I divided those orders. So I just received this today. So I did get the premium painted versions because I got everything else for the old game and I wanted to keep that kind of going. So let's see what we got here. So we'll start with Army expansions. So looks like we got the Rising Tide Knight Primus and Adalburn and Ordo Borealis. Okay. So it looks very similar to the ones we got from the last expansion, just different weapons. So it looks pretty good there. Then we have the Hellforge Manticore, which looks pretty epic. I'm really curious to see how this actually plays in the game. This should be fun. Then we have Sonlind and Halucia and Scion of the Wild. So it's pretty cool thinking Sonlind's little dragon that he used to have in the other one grew up. So pretty sweet there. Looking good. Okay, and then we got two terrain expansions. So we have the Snowfields of Valhalla. So I do have a lot of snow terrain from the previous ones with the trees. I love that they did snow trees here. That's unique. So it looks like what they did is, looks like they did green and dry brushed white over the top. Or actually, you know what, they might have done white and did a dark like green wash. It looks like that's actually what they might have done. Interesting. Okay, cool. And then you have these nice speckled snow ice tiles, then you have snow tiles. And then also came with the Swamps of Valhalla. So with two new plants and then the terrain. So, and I have the old stuff too, so we can do a few comparisons there too. So let's flip it around and look at the back. Okay, here we go. Here's the back. So here we go. So we have these ones here, and what we can do is if you want to read, you can pause your screen now and you can read about them. Okay, perfect. Okay, so 4 highly detailed miniatures, 2 army cards. Okay, and this one here, if you want to read about it, you can pause your screen now. Okay, so this is just one figure, and it looks like a huge figure, which is pretty exciting. Okay, so we'll see. It looks like they have the card details there. Okay, if you want to read this one, pause your screen. You can read this guy. Okay, you got 2 miniatures here. Okay, here's the snow one. If you want to read that terrain, you can read that. Okay, and here's the components. Okay, and then we'll go over to the swamp terrain. So if you want to read that, pause your screen. And there are the components there. Okay, sweet. So let's open this up and see what we're looking at. Okay, here's everything out of the package. And I just did, I didn't really set it up too much. I just kind of stacked all the pieces up just so I could show you. So real quick, we'll start with the swamp. Actually, let's start with the characters first. Okay, so here they are out of the package. So we have this guy here. You can see what they did is a yellow plastic. You got blue paint here on the front, and you have silver on the rest of these pieces here. But it looks like what they did is it doesn't even look like they did a black wash. It looks like they did some type of, I don't know, it almost looks like some type of powder or something that they rubbed on it, and they rubbed it off. It's really interesting because you can see it's got like a grit to it, which is very, very interesting. But yeah, it looks fine. I mean, I'd say to make it look less plastic, like back here looks super plastic, I'd maybe add another, you know, black wash on it just to fill in those details. Be an easy thing to do, but overall looks pretty good. So pretty decent size too. It's a little bit smaller, I think, than I thought it was going to be, but still it's a good size. So you have that there. And then you have, let's grab his card real quick. So you have Hellforge Manticore. Okay. That's the basic. And then here's the master card. So you have life of 6, move 4, range 1, attack 4, defense 4, etc. Okay, some cool things here. So if you want to read more of the facts and the card sheet, just pause your screen now. Cool. Okay, so you have that. Now let's move over to this guy here. So you can see this, I really like this one a lot. This one and Sonland remind me a lot of the old Heroscape figures. Really good attention to detail. So looks like you have a kind of a black, actually it's like a dark brown base. So here we go. Then you have a lighter brown, dry brushed over the top or painted over the top, and they did a wash over it. So they didn't dry brush this, they painted it and then put a wash. Then you have some green here, and they washed that as well, which looks good. And you have that same tone here on the chest. Then as you go up, you can definitely see they kept the wash on there instead of rubbing it off there, so it looks a little darker. And the beard looks nice. You have cool little dimensions there. It looks like they dry brushed white on the gray, which looks really nice. Or, yeah, or it could be the process where they painted it gray or washed it gray and then just wiped off the white on the front to make it look faded, which looks good. Okay, you got a wash here. Then they decided to touch up there, rub it off, so you have a nice beige tone. Nice wood shield. But yeah, this character looks sweet. I like that a lot. And we're gonna have another centaur, which is pretty cool. Okay, so this is, we have, oh, that's the wrong one. Where is that card at? Oh yeah, it's in there. Okay, so here's the card here. So Halucia, Scion of the Wild, follows Olar. So move a 7, so moves fast. Life of 7, he's got a big life too. That's sweet. Okay, so if you want to read about it, you can pause the screen now. Okay, sweet. Okay, so let's transition over to Sonlin. And here we go. Same thing, this one reminds me of some of the old Heroscape stuff too. So you got the flesh tone there. You see they did an orange touch up there. Looks like they did a nice wash. Looks like they rubbed some of it off here, but not on the rest of it. So it looks a little interesting there. They black washed the dragon. So it fills in the details on the scales. Face looks good, teeth look good. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it looks fine enough. It reminds me, like I said, of the old ones, which I really, really liked. That looks really good there. Okay, let's check out his card. I think we have to open up the package. Okay, so here we go. So life is 6, move 6, range 6, attack 4, defense 3. Okay, so if you want to read about it, you can pause your screen now. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's transition over to these guys here. Let's see, and I have their stats here. Okay, so these are the Ordo Borealis. So you have one there. And it looks a lot like the other ones they did. So they did white, and they put a gray wash over the top. So you can see it there, and then rubbed off the excess. So it just filled up the details. They did blue gloves, touch up the straps blue, nice silver tones on it. Overall, looks pretty good. So that's one of them. Here's the other one. They'll have like cool harpoons. And this one turned out very interesting on the face. Yeah, so it looks like they kind of missed some of that on that side. And there's like no detail on it either. Yeah, the detail might be there, might just be hidden. So it looks like what they did is they black washed it and then they rubbed off too much on the front. So then the front is plain and they didn't do anything on that side. So I don't know, it doesn't bother me too much, but that might be something I might touch up real quick because that would be an easy fix. Let's see, and then we have blue around. See, they did a great job here. Okay, guess that's one of them. And then here's the last one in that group. They did kind of the same thing, right? They washed the one side and not quite the other side. Put the mouth's open on this one. They just glob black in the mouth. So these ones could be touched up better, because you could even do a nice wash on the blue, which they didn't really do either. Or they might have. It might have just rubbed off too much. So you could really get those showing up well. Like I said, it's not a deal breaker or anything. But those look cool. And let's check out the card. So here's the card here. And these have a life of 2, which is very unique for a squad. Okay, so if you want to read more about this, just pause your screen. Okay, sweet. And then the final one we have here is the Knight Primus Adalburn. So he's a little bit bigger than the rest of them. And he actually has like some type of club sword thing, which is kind of cool. So same thing, they just rubbed off extra kind of on all these, which it would have looked better if they just, yeah, if they left a little bit more on the front, just because it's so glossy. Okay, but the rest of it, all right, nice silver tones. Yeah, the rest of it looks fine. Okay, so pretty good. Let's check out the card real quick. I'll have to open up this thing too, so give me a second. Okay, and here's this card. Ooh, life of 8. Man, that's a big life. That's insane. He didn't seem like he'd be that strong, but I guess he is. Okay. So if you want to read it, just pause your screen now. Okay, sweet. Okay, so that's that. Now as we go into the terrain, so the swamp, it did come with this little booklet here. So it kind of breaks down how swamp grass works, swamp water, rules for the master game. So, right, underbrush pieces. Okay, so it kind of gives you all those details there. Then it has the developers on the back. So yeah, so it looks good. And then yeah, so it came with, you know, so you have your big pieces here. You have your swamp pieces. You have 3 swamp pieces here, and they're real nice and glossy because they're brand new. Look at that. Then you have your 3s, your 2s, and your 1s. And then it did come with 2 of the big ones. So the big hex tile ones that are on the very bottom. So pretty good. And then you have these plants here, so you can see up close. So it looks similar to the other swamp pieces they had, except they changed some of the colors and stuff they use here. So you have like a orange and a yellow kind of go with it, so it just sticks out a little bit. Would have been nice if they came with more. However, it's fine. You know, I'm not going to buy a bunch more swamp pieces. I have a bunch already from the previous master sets from way back in the day, so I'm not going to buy any more. But yeah, it'll look good with the rest though, having a few that are just different colors. Okay, and then we'll transition over to the snow. So the snow, so same thing, came with the same amount of pieces of the swamp. So you have the bigger pieces here, you have the 3s, the 2s, the 1s, you have triple hex tile here of ice, and then you just have singles for the rest. And this is a lot more translucent than the old one. The old one, you could see through it a little bit, but not much. This one you can see through more. So just to show you, so this is, what's cool though is you can see through it. So you have 3 stacked there, so you can't really see through it. 2 stacks, so you can kind of see through it right there. So this is 2, so 3, 2, then 1, and you can see how you can see through it, which is really cool. So I kind of like that, because what it does is that when you look here, if you put it over something like a swamp tile, you get to see what's kind of underneath it, which I think is cool. So if you decide to like make it a frozen lake or frozen swamp or something like that, it could be kind of cool, because then you can see the underlying pieces if it's kind of thin, which is really neat. So like that a lot. So yeah, so that's it for Rising Tide. So obviously I have not played with it yet, so I don't have anything there. Oh, sorry, I forgot to talk about the trees. Apologies. So got 2 different trees here, and right? They have a white base, and then, yeah, so these are white. So white first, and then they took a really dark, like swampy green color for the wash and put it over the top. And then after they put it over the top, they rubbed it off, so then it exposed the white under it, so it looks more like snow. So this would be kind of cool to mix in with the other ones. So it did only come with 2, so hopefully we get just a tree set soon, because that would be really cool to get more of the evergreen trees just kind of by themselves. But yeah, so that's the set there. So it came with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 miniatures, and a bunch of hex tiles for swamp and snow. So yeah, I think overall I'm pretty pleased with it. I think the cards are nice. Oh, sorry, one more thing. Okay, the snow also came with how to play with the snow and ice. So I just looked down and saw this. So evergreen trees, ice tiles, rules for master game. Normal ice, slippery ice, snow tiles, right? So you can give it different components too as you play if you want. But yeah, I think overall, I think it's a pretty good expansion. So I'm waiting for the next one. So this was February with this launch. I think the next one is April, I believe. So we got to wait a couple months to get the other ones for it. But yeah, I think there's some good additions to the Heroscape set. Looking forward to playing with it and see kind of how it plays. And looking forward to continuing to get more of the new Archiry, the new Revna character, because I'd like to build an army with that at least at some point. So very cool. So thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll keep bringing reviews, customizations, reveals, action figure stuff, board game stuff when it comes to Heroscape to you all. So thank you all for supporting the channel. We keep continuing to grow it. So like, subscribe, share, and we'll keep growing this channel. Thank you all so much, and I'll catch you on the next video.